The average football fan spends over £2,000 per season following their team to away games, but that number barely scratches the surface of the true financial impact. Today we're diving into the hidden economics of being a dedicated away supporter.
Those numbers are actually pretty shocking when you break them down. Most people just think about the obvious costs, tickets and transport.
Well, let me paint you a picture of how quickly these costs spiral. You start with what seems like a reasonable £70 budget for train and match ticket, feeling pretty confident about your financial planning.
Though that budget's already assuming you managed to book those mythical advanced train tickets that seem to vanish 3 months before match day.
According to recent transport data, nearly 60% of away fans end up paying peak pricing because they can't book far enough in advance. We're talking about an average markup of 180% on those last-minute train tickets.
And that's before we factor in what the industry calls disruption costs. You know, when your carefully planned direct route turns into this epic journey involving multiple connections.
The statistics on this are fascinating. A survey showed that 72% of away fans experienced at least one major travel disruption last season, leading to an average additional spend of £95 per trip on alternative transport.
Speaking of additional costs, we should talk about this mysterious matchday pricing phenomenon that seems to exist in every city. Studies show local businesses increase prices by an average of 35% on match days.
It's actually become such an issue that the Football Supporters Association conducted a study last year. They found that away fans typically spend £47 more per day on basic necessities compared to regular tourists in the same locations.
That's making me think about the accommodation situation. How do hotels justify those price spikes in smaller towns?
Well, the data here is pretty eye-opening. In towns with stadiums holding over 30,000 fans, hotel prices surge by an average of 165% on match days. One economist called it micro-market exploitation. Basically, they know they've got you trapped.
That explains why my last away day hotel room cost more than my monthly car payment.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The food and drink economics. The average stadium markup on refreshments is 312% compared to local retail prices. You're literally paying premium restaurant prices for food that's, well, let's say basic.
And that's assuming you can even find somewhere to eat. A recent survey showed that 45% of away fans end up spending more on food because their only options are overpriced stadium concessions.
But here's the psychological aspect that fascinates me. The merchandise factor. Studies show that away fans are 73% more likely to purchase team merchandise at away grounds, despite prices being on average 20% higher than at home.
That's got to be related to what psychologists call experience validation. Buying something to prove you were there.
Exactly. And when you factor in all these hidden costs, including lost productivity the next day, which economists estimate at around £120 per person per away game, we're looking at a significant economic impact.
Though interestingly, research shows that 89% of away fans say the experience is worth the financial strain.
That's what I find most compelling about this whole phenomenon. Despite knowing the true costs, 94% of regular away fans continue to attend matches. It's almost like a form of economic Stockholm syndrome.
Well, the social value metrics are pretty compelling. Studies indicate that away day attendance strongly correlates with improved mental well-being and social connection scores.
And that might be the real story here. When you analyse the cost-benefit ratio, you're not just measuring financial impact. You're measuring something that economists struggle to quantify, the value of shared experience and community.
That's probably why the Football Association's latest report showed that away attendance has actually increased by 12%, despite rising costs.
Looking ahead, experts predict these costs will continue to rise, with projections suggesting a 15% increase in away day expenses over the next 3 seasons. Yet somehow, I don't think that's going to stop any of us.
Because ultimately, you can't put a price tag on being part of something bigger than yourself, even if your bank account wishes you would.
And that might be the most important economic lesson here. Sometimes the most valuable